Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I usually do I saw it in Somerset Studio magazine on Friday, or a art journaling magazine, whichever. But I was trying to find something. I just wasn't finding anything I liked. I found last night Lisa at Our Shabby Cottage here on YouTube. So we're going to say inspired by YouTube. She did these really cute DIY tongue depressor snowmen. And as you know, I've had a week. I had to take the cat to the vet this morning. He's sick. So I was just like, I'm just going to make these snowmen. Even though they're not a paper thing, I thought they might be fun for you guys if, you know, you're trying to find a little cute thing for a gift. You can turn them into ornaments. I forgot to put the string on this one before I glued the hat closed. So what you need to do is put the string in, glue the hat closed, and then voila. But they're cotton batting on a a tongue depressor popsicle stick, craft stick, whatever you want to call it. They're the bigger ones. And Lisa had even bigger ones, and I don't have any of those, but I do have just these craft sticks. So I had to try one and make one, and I'm like, yeah, I think you guys would like these. So I made that one, and I also did one, and I haven't put his face on yet because it was still wet, and I learned a lesson. If it's at all damp, the eyes will all like bloom out, and so those eyes are a little bit bigger than what I wanted, but you know, it's fine. And I know I still don't sound great, but I really do feel a whole lot better. I just, for some reason, it's got my throat irritated. It's not sore, but I don't know. Anyways, so we'll put the face on this one. It's just, it's still kind of wet, but we'll work on some of the other ones. But the way I made this one was, rather than the craft stick, I used an old clothespin. And I thought it would be super fun if you could make one and then slide it onto like the top of a page or, you know, even on the cover of a journal. But you just can't unless you're not going to wrap it. Like, you could paint it, do one that's just painted with regular paint, and then do a snowman face on it and stuff like that. But I love the look of these. They are very primitive looking, and I really, really like them a lot. So we're going to do this kind, but if you can think of a way, you could, I suppose, just take your batting and go like in strips like that. Because you don't want to wrap a bunch of stuff in there, because then it won't, you know, slide on and off very easily. But anyways, that's what happens when I get on these projects. And then I get one-tracked mind, and then I can't think. I think that was part of my problem. Once I get on a jag like that, I need to just make it so that I stop, because otherwise I will never figure out what else to do. So anyways, I decided I'm just making some little snowmen with you guys today. Yeah, I know. I don't know. My voice was better yesterday. I have no idea. Don't ask me. All I know is I don't feel that bad, so I'm not, and the swelling's down and all of that. So I think it's just probably from clearing my throat and doing all those other lovely things. So what you're going to need first, and she didn't do it exactly like this. This is just kind of what I gathered by trying to make one myself. So I try to make it as easy as possible on you guys. But this is the cutest idea. I feel like you could do all kinds of cute things with these. You could put them, like if you actually put a string on it, like this one, you could put it onto a package, like have it as a package topper. You could make a family of them for a journal topper. You could just put it in a pocket of a journal, just because they're a little thick, but they're not like, oh my goodness, there's no way that you could put that in a journal. I think they'd be a fun little extra. Or you could do like a child would like that. Like, obviously I'm not talking a child that's gonna like put it in their mouth or anything, but you know, a goodie bag and pop one of those in, or like people you work with or whatever. If you got them a hand sanitizer and you could put one of these on there or something. You know, just like a something handmade but cute. And I did this one with the skewer because then you could give like a poinsettia and stick it in the dirt, you know? That would be cute. So yeah, just some ideas for the season for not a super expensive thing and kind of a fun little handmade. I like gifts like that, you know, that have just a little touch like that. So what you're doing with the tea, it's a big fat tea, and you kind of just are wrapping the sides in. And I was using this because I burnt myself, because that's what I do when I use a hot glue gun. Pretty much every time is I burn myself. So I'm trying to be better about not doing that. I mean, I do have nails and that does help, but I still burn myself. So basically you're just covering the bottom of the stick so that it doesn't stick out and look, you know, have that wood color. It finishes it off nicely is what the point is of that. See, I just stuck my hand in that. So that is the thing. Yeah, this this week, I don't know. Sometimes it just seems like, why does everything go on at the same time? So yeah, yesterday Pasha just, I mean, he's always got his stuffy nose. You guys have heard him, and the vet's like that. He's just, that's kind of the smash face thing. But then last night, he was just, sorry, but kind of a boogery mess. And so I knew he needed to go get some antibiotics, but we got him another injection. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, next year might not be his year. I don't know. It's just so hard to know what to do with older pets, and you just feel awful. So anyway, and then so you can see I'm just turning it and putting a little glue, turning it, putting a little more glue. I kind of did that a little too far up. But I don't really want to think about all of that right now. So we'll be like Scarlett O'Hara and say we'll think about it tomorrow. But yeah, that was just an unexpected thing I needed to do. And I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling what to do. I kept looking at magazines and stuff and just, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, ooh, yeah, ooh, I could do this. And and other times it's not. So we all have our moments. And you can put the glue on the front or the back. I think with this one, I tried to stay more towards the back, but I don't really think that matters a whole lot. But it doesn't get any easier, honestly. This is like cotton batting. So I think you could probably do it with regular batting. I'm kind of thinking of trying one. The only thing is, it's so thick. I think the cotton's better because it's more compressed. She was saying you could probably do it with felt if you had a very soft felt. You probably could do it with flannel. Flannel might be cute. But the problem with felt is it's very stiff, or can be anyways. And so, I don't know, it just might look like it might not come together really well, So I would stick with probably the cotton batting myself, maybe flannel. It's just to give it a little bit more dimension because, again, you can, of course, just paint the popsicle sticks white or whatever. But I really like the fabric feel and all of that of this type of covering. And then we need black felt or whatever. She just sometimes used fabric. And I would highly encourage you to go check out her video because what she made was adorable. So what am I doing? Oh, yeah. You need kind of a strip, sort of like the same as you used for the Why are you not sticking up there? For the batting, I need a strip along here. And then maybe sort of like a rectangular shaped piece for each snowman. You can make snow girls too if you want to. And then you just take this. I'm going to have to put more glue. And put it, you know, kind of up near the top. You don't want to go all the way to the top. And you see you got a little bit of that popsicle stick. You can you can cover it completely with the batting, but you just don't need to. And then you're just kind of making a fold over to make the little top of the hat. Yeah, these are super cute. Like, what a fantastic idea. I love it. And then you're just going to put some glue on the inside as well, because obviously that hat gets kind of like glued together so you don't see down inside at your messy popsicle stick or whatever. Oh, I did way too much. What was I doing? I can trim some of that off. I don't need that much. Put a little bit more glue. I've got contraptions, too many things going across the desk here so that I can do this on video. Ah, the strings. You know, I didn't ever know this, but a genius, and why did I not know it? I don't know. But when you're all done making something with hot glue, take your heat gun and just blow it, and it'll, you know, it'll shrivel up those little strings. I mean, obviously don't like melt your project or anything, but I don't know why I never knew that, but I didn't until I saw somebody do it on YouTube. Then you take your rectangle, fold it, you know, like in half, because you're going to kind of make a little oval. And they do not need to be perfect. Let me tell you, look at how short it is on this side and how long it is on that side. But I think that's sort of the, I don't know, charm about it. If it was a perfect, like this one, you can see is totally wonky the way it's cut out. But for some reason, they're just very cute because they're, oh, you guys couldn't see that. See, it's very wonky, my oval. But it's the charm to it, because it kind of flops over and looks like it's ratty or old, you know, like you would use an old top hat. You wouldn't use a brand new top hat for your snowman. And then you just kind of want to sort of figure out about how big of a hole you're going to cut in it. You don't want to make it huge because then it's, you know, you just want it to be able to slide over that basically. And then I did figure out you don't want to cut too deep this way. You want to kind of start it straight and go like this. Just, you know, kind of round your corners sort of thing. And again, if you mess it up a little, don't worry about it. Because once you put it on there, you don't really notice that type of thing. So don't stress about it. That one I got really too close to the edge, but it's all right. I kind of like that when they're sort of shorter on one side and longer on the other side. It just, like I said, it adds to that primitive, or like it's an old hat. It's not a brand new hat that you put on your snowman. And then we're just going to put a little glue around there. But she is, you know, like different fabrics, flannel. You don't have to have felt. So if you don't have felt, don't feel like, oh, I can't do it. Choose whatever things you can grab a hold of that would be cute. It's not about perfect. It's homemade. Okay, you just want it to sort of stick up there. And then I was taking some of this. You can use just regular cheesecloth though, but I kind of like this. It's some kind of cheesecloth that like is it sticks together in spots and comes apart in other spots. I do not know what it's called. I just call it cheesecloth, but it's different than the kind I buy at the grocery store. I ordered that from Etsy. I don't remember where, but anyways. But it's when you pull it apart, I kind of like the way it gets all janky. But you can totally just use some cheesecloth. That's the word. I only said it 50 times. Oh, I need to say hugs and blessings. Hugs and blessings to Carol. I have a few Carols. Hugs and blessings to all of you. Hugs and blessings to Teresa, Beth Ann, and Jan. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for leaving kind comments. I appreciate it so much. I mean, I truly, truly do. And yeah, this comes apart, but see how some of it'll stay together, some of it comes apart. I'm not worried about it because I want it to look all kind of ratty and, you know, not perfect. So this is how you're going to cover up your brim, whatever you want to call it there. And of course you could use some kind of ribbon if you have it and you want it to look more, I don't know, like fancy or different colors or whatever. Definitely do that. This is just what I wanted to use. I like that kind of primitive look on it. But if you like a different style, because she did all different styles. She did some that are like kind of shabby. She did girls. But see how it it's kind of ratty. I just like it. It's that whole grungy thing, you know, that I like. So, okay. And then you can take things and decorate it. Decorate the hat. And you can, like this one, I did the little bow with the baker's twine. Oh, you know what? I did it again. I closed it up. Why do I keep doing that? I think you can probably put a hook through, and I think that that'll work. You just need some little bits of maybe greenery, and I'm just using those pipe cleaners that you can get usually at Dollar Tree this time of year. And I just snipped a little snip. That's kind of too little of a snip. But anyway, you snip a snip off. And then you can put it on the hat. That might be too much. So you just want a little something. That's why this is great for like scrappy pieces of fabric or whatever. I need a new glue stick in there. These are very fun though. It's another one of those things that you could just play with and find all different ways of doing them. So that's always good. A good project when you can find lots of, I think I do like the red better. I have green, but I do like the red better. And then I just did a bow, however you want to do a bow. Just get it kind of tight if you can. Put a little glue on your bow. So thank you to Lisa. These are just so cute. I think they would be so cute on packages. Or like I said, a little extra thing with a gift card. You know, like have a little, maybe a cute pocket for a gift card, and then just tuck one of those in. If it's like an open top pocket kind of thing. And then what she did, which seemed to work very well, because you paint the face on the snowman, and she said it's really hard to paint it onto the batting. It just doesn't work very well. So she took, she actually used Mod Podge. I'm going to use just Elmer's glue, white glue, and just some water to thin it down a little bit. But you just put a piece of tissue paper where the face will be, and that helps. And you don't really see it, because I did it to both of mine, and you don't really go, oh, there's a piece of tissue paper on there, because once you put this glue and water on it, it you know how tissue does. It just sort of dissolves into the background. She did say that with some of her later ones, she would just put the Mod Podge on the batting, and that worked too. But I was like, I really like the idea of the tissue. I just think it gives you a nice base. And then you have to wait for them to dry, which is hard. Probably should have done that first. But we have the one, I'll do the one that's drying, or is about dry now. Let's see. What do we want to put on as a scarf? You can use anything you have, you know, whatever kind of fabric you want. Yeah, poor Pasha. He's not feeling good at all. I even took him to the vet, and he usually screams at me the whole way to the vet, and he just made a few meows, and he just doesn't feel good. He's just like, whatever. We're going to the vet, great. So, yeah. And then you need some buttons, or, you know, something. I have those little tiny ones like I put on that other. I might use those again. I have some brown ones. Maybe we'll use the brown ones on this one. If you've been a crafter for any amount of time, I'm sure you have most of this stuff sitting around. It's so crazy. This is the kind of crafting I did for a long time too, is this sort of thing. Sorry, I was like not laying down over there. Because I kind of go in and out of paper crafting. This is probably the longest I've ever done paper crafting solid. And I've done needle felting, and also just felting or crafting with felt. If you've watched me for a while, I've done wall murals. I used to do that. The problem with that is it takes forever. Nobody ever wants to pay you to do it. They want you to come do it. They just don't want to pay you to do it. So I kind of gave up on that. I did that when my kids were little. Mostly just family, friends, and things like that, but yeah. I did our church too. In the preschool, I did a wall. But paper crafting's probably been my love. I really love paper. But this stuff's fun too. I mean, if you say craft, and I'm there. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside to dry. And then we'll paint the face on this little guy. Put those up. Is this dry enough? Because truly, if it's not dry enough, which makes sense, you know, you get that water in the, because I'm just using acrylics. And they just, so yeah, that's not fun. So just do some black for the eyes. Oh, do I have water? Yes, I do have water. Spilled my water all over my desk. That was a disaster this morning. Big, huge disaster. So I'm using a tiny brush. This is a Arteza one liner. I mean, it doesn't matter. It just needs to be tiny because you're obviously just going to make little dots and things. You're not. See, so if you get, well, yeah, you're just making a dot. I got to figure out where I think the face is on this thing. I don't know if you guys can see that. So obviously just small dots. I don't know why my light's so weird in here today. Okay. And this one has the ittiest bittiest little face here. I might just do 3 dots for that. I think that'll be good. It's still sort of like that. Black has moved out a little bit. Don't know. It might be my paint. It might be some water on my brush. Just a little bit more of this one now. And then we'll come back in and we'll put some white gleam in the eye, you know. And then I just have orange, but I'm going to put some brown in it because that is wow orange. So you just need like almost none, honestly. It's just enough to make a tiny nose if I can get the paint out. Yeah, so sorry it's not my normal today. Hopefully next week I'll be back to normal. I hope so anyways. Because my motivation has been sapped. Yeah, last night Pasha came and sitting next to me after I worked all day. And I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, I knew that he was kind of snorting and stuff more than normal, but yeah, he was a mess. Luckily, our vet is very good, can get us in real fast. Well, we've been going there forever, but... So I was able to get that done this morning, and now he's sleeping in the butt hammock. If you guys know, you know. We call my husband's, he has one of those chairs that you sit in to massage your back. He got that for his 50th birthday. And it has kind of a bowl style seat, for lack of a better term. I don't know what else to call it, but anyway, we call it the butt hammock because it just, you know, Pasha can lay in there all kind of surrounded by the seat, and it's probably warm, you know. So anyway, that's where he is. I don't know why I'm struggling with the light today with this project. You see it okay? So they're nothing major, like, oh, you have to do all these things to paint the face. They're just what we think of as snowman faces, right? So you can see in this one a little bit better because I'm going to have to wait for that to dry. But I put the white dots. I did put a little white on the nose, but it sort of gets lost just because the background's white. And then I did take my Distress ink and I inked it. Oh, and I did put a little white. We could do that too. A little white here and there. And you could use glitter. You could put glitter. So, I mean, really, you could do a whole bunch of things with these. You could go as crazy or as simple as you like. And I love projects like this because they're just not so complicated, but that's cute. I mean, who wouldn't want one of those? I'm sure there's somebody, but don't answer that question. I'm just saying, I would like it. So, but I just kind of went and I put, you know, sort of like snow here and there. I mean, obviously the whole thing's supposed to be snow, but it just gives you more details. Details are good. Yeah, you know, there's definitely people that'd be like, I don't want one. I know, I know. And you could put pink on the cheeks. You'll probably notice on that one, I might go all the way around this one because it's going to be a stake for a, you know, like a flower. I have a plan for this one already. It's going to have a home already. You could even put a little on the top if you wanted. Kind of like we did on that journal cover. Man, I wish I would have remembered to put the string in there. My goodness, some days. Why those things are very hard for me to remember. Those kind of things. But I can remember to do stuff like that. Anyway, what you would do, like I said, is take and make a loop of some kind. And I wouldn't make them too long because it's already a long piece. And I don't know about you, but sometimes if you hang stuff on your Christmas tree and they have too long of a hanger, it doesn't hang right because it's hitting the branch below it. So I try not to, when I make ornaments, I try to just leave enough so you could put a hook if you wanted to or whatever. But yeah, I try not to make them too long. I might, yeah, it's not going to come apart. I mean, I think you could slip a hook in there, but it would have been great if I would have just remembered. But anyway, you do like that. Put it on the inside of the hat. And then you could also, if you forget, that's probably what I'll do with these, run a stitch, through there. And then that way you could hang it. That's what I'm going to do with that. I'll use some black thread. But if you remember, you can just put it on the inside, hot glue it in there, and then it's done. Then you don't have to be stitching things or doing any of those type of things with it. So anyway, I hope you like those. And I hope you definitely go check out Lisa's channel because, oh my goodness, she did all sorts and they are so adorable. Do I want to, that's still too wet. I'll just kind of show you how I did with the, and like I said, she did all different kinds. And you could do different style hats. See, I just took my ink and did this. Like if you could figure out a way to make a more like a stocking cap. Let's see if we can real quick figure out how we might do that. It might be easier actually, I know, with like this kind of fabric. So you like do like you do with the hat. I'll kind of make one because I think I'll probably make another one of these. Well, I know I'm going to be making more because I think we're going to do this as a project for Thanksgiving. So you'd have all your batting on there, and then you wrap this around. You know, it's obviously not going to touch that close together. You're going to have some room. And then tie it like with a piece of twine, that twine that I just had that I was using. You could tie it around there and then just fray out the top. Obviously, you're probably going to need to cut a little bit off and fray it out so that you can... All right, I'm just going to make one more. If you want to stay, stay. If you want to go, you can go. I understand. But now I'm on a new tangent, so I'm just going to make one because otherwise we'll be back to square one of I can't get anything done. Why is my brain like that? I don't know. Don't ask me. I have no idea. It never stops. It's just blah, blah, blah all day long. Oh, I did it backwards, didn't I? Yes, I did. I need to glue the sides first. Yeah, blah, blah, blah all day long. That's what it does. Super annoying. I mean, it can be good. But it definitely gets on a kick sometimes. Whoopsie. I don't know that that's very handy at all. So do you guys like these kind of projects, or do you just like the paper projects? It's mostly this time of year when I end up doing these little harebrained things like this. Because we're always trying to figure out gifts and stuff, right? Something cute to do. You got to kind of pull a little, make it a little bit tight. I mean, I guess you can make it loose if you like it like that. Yeah, this is what all us girls will do while the boys are watching football on Thanksgiving. Because it makes it more fun. I'm not a big game player, so I usually try to find other things to do than play games. But that's just me. I know it's just me because, well, both my sister and I think we didn't grow up playing games. So I think that's why. I'm just not a fan. But I know most families do. My dad wasn't into it. Not a game player. I think we had 2 games growing up, Monopoly and Connect 4. And we really didn't play them. Monopoly a little. I played Connect 4 with my friends, but... Okay, so then... let's do, almost wondering if I should cover that, only because what I'm thinking is it'll help fill up my hat a little bit, right? Right. You're like, sure, whatever. How am I going to do this so that I just want a little bit up there? And I don't want to mess up his face, so I think I'll just kind of do it about the width. It's all trial and error because I haven't made this before, this style. But this is how you learn new ways of doing the things that we do. I don't want to come down too low because I don't want it on his face. Like I don't want to see it on his face. Okay. So I think I want some of that fuzzy at the top. So we're going to come around the back and put the glue. It's really hard to tell what is the right side of this particular fabric. Let's go over a little. Then we're going to go around just like the other one. I know I'm a little bit lower, but I think for this one that might be better. I don't know. We're going to find out. We are going to find out what works better here. Oh, glue, work with me, would ya? My old glue gun I liked more, but it died. And this one's okay. But you know how you get used to your glue gun? It's like, my sister always talks about the sewing machine, and I'm sure that's probably true. I've only ever had one sewing machine. It's the one I have. But anyways, and you try to use a different one, it's just not right anymore. That's sort of how I feel about that. Here's that. Maybe we'll come to the that's the back, huh? Let's tie a little bow at the front, wherever that ends up being. You want to kind of get it as tight as you can, because obviously you don't want it coming undone. This is when you need 3 hands, right? Or even 4 would be fantastic. My sister and I always said, after you have, or when you're pregnant or whatever, you should grow 2 more arms too. Which is so true. And then I guess they could fall off later or something, but but yeah, you need them when you're wrapping presents as well, and things like this. Crafting. Okay, and then I'm thinking I probably should have done it a little tighter, but that's okay. I want this to kind of fray, so I'm pulling away. Yeah, that works. Okay. Then face. What I'll probably do is pause, finish these, like finish their faces, and then come back and show you just so you can see them done. So it's not like, okay, we're stopping now. And you get to see this half-made snowman. So I'm going to kind of tuck it under there a little bit. I think the other hats are more forgiving, just FYI. Because you can kind of hide stuff under there better. So I'll just trim that. Yeah, I just mixed Elmer's glue and water, just, you know, so it's thinner, a little bit thinner. It's not any formula or anything. Just thin it down a little so it's not so thick. Okay, needs a scarf. What do I want to do for a scarf? I could use this, huh? This one's going to be real rustic, ratty looking. Too bad I don't have the end piece of that. Yeah, so I think I'd use fabric rather than felt, because I think when you tried to tie the felt, it would be really hard because it's so kind of thick. So I would definitely use fabric for if you do this kind of, you know, the stocking cap kind. And you could make it have a longer, like, flop over or whatever. Like I said, there's probably 110 different ways you could do these. However your heart desires. But I think they would be very cute on packages. Or something like that. It's a little tight because it's looking weird right here. And then you could even, since we're not going to do, well, you could still put stuff on the hat, but you could also, where did I do with, oh, let's use one of these. I cut out, I have this ribbon that has these little tiny trees. I think I might just put it on there. But yeah, decorate this part up instead of the hat. Sorry. You're like, the... I don't know if I want this on here or not. Do we want it? Nah. No, we got a tree there. That's enough trees. What else do I want to put on him? Oopsie. This isn't good. Make sure you get all your parts stuck down. And definitely don't paint them until you get them dry, because they'll just mess them up. Oh, you know what we could do? We could put like some kind of little bit of fluff up there. What would be different than the cotton padding? How about fiber, or this stuff, whatever, polyester fill. I had it out too, because like I said, I might try it. I don't know. It's so thin and see-through, I think is the problem, but it would be kind of cute on there, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm completely down the rabbit hole, y'all. Down, down, down we go. They probably won't last forever, so don't think that they're going to be something that, you know, your grandchildren are going to have. Or great-grandchildren or whatever. Okay, I'm going to finish getting these dry, and then I'll come back and I'll show you when they're done. Okay, I'm back. They are done. So this was the first one. You guys already saw this one all done. And this is the one we did together. You know what I figured out, which I knew that the heat gun would melt plasticky stuff. So when I was drying this one a little bit, the face a little bit, I shrunk down some of the batting because it did seem very like see-through, and I added a little bit of gesso to it, kind of like adding the gesso all over the body like that. So then when you hit it with the heat gun, you know, it'll like shrink a little bit, but be really careful. It only takes like seconds, and then it's so I tried it on the hat, and you get the holes in the hat, but I like that because I feel like it's that old ratty hat thing. So I did that, and I did the tops a little because it kind of brings them together a little bit, and then I did it to this little hat too. But I mean, obviously, if you like the cleaner look or whatever, you could do these in the same way, just do them in your style. So anyways, they are super fun, very addicting. So just know that before you make any. But they're easy, and I think they'll be so cute, like on gifts or wherever. So I hope you have an awesome weekend, and we will chat again soon. Love ya. Bye.